So here we are with yet another experimental experience. So I've shown you what the banana fibres look like, and we're going to try and create that from this. So this is the banana stump. I cut it back after it had fallen down, after it had born identity. Anyway, so it fell down because of the weight of the bananas, and so I thought, well, okay, this is a prime opportunity to be able to see if I can get the fibres from this banana. So I'll show you what I'm doing so far. This banana, it's not a tree. It's what is it? I'll put it in the description. Flush it up. Anyway, so basically what I looked on YouTube and I was trying to see how they stripped the banana, and so this is my experimenting. I'm not even sure whether I've done it right, from what I can see anyway. And then this was right at the core. It seems fibrous, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to do the same thing, extract some of the fibres from this, because what I saw them doing was, so basically I saw them like cut. See, this comes away quite easily, so this is a bit that I did already, but what I saw them do was kind of put the knife there and lift it up, and then it came off really easy. Oh, okay, it didn't come off really easy before. So let's see how I did. Oh, I didn't do too badly, because basically what you have is the fibres, and in between the fibres is this stuff. So I think this is what's holding them together, and basically you have to get the knife in between the two layers, and when you do, you're left with that. So what you then have to do is boil it and then dry it and then separate the fibres, and it's a long task, so this is going to take a while. So I just thought I'd start the process, and it's amazing what you can do with the fibres. The fibres is really soft, and I will show you I would have shown you that earlier, how soft the fibres are. And to think that from the plant fibres, I mean, you can see it here, but once it's been spun into yarn, it's actually really lovely to work with. And the video that I was watching was they combined it with, it was a polyester, so they combined it with a man-made fibre. But I would love to be able to do some small, even if it's some small woven pieces from this fibre. So I'm quite excited. It's quite exciting to know that you can like grow the plant and then utilize every part of it. Not only if it's an edible one, so not only eat it, but you know, wear it as well, or create some art with it. So I'm going to continue here and cut this one. I mean, so what you can see here, yeah, you can see that quite good. So you've got to get the knife in between these two layers, and then at the core is this. Right, yeah, that's good. So the core is that, so I'm not even sure whether that's used or whether it's just these outer layers. So I've got to get the knife in between there, separate them out, and then boil it. So I've got a big pot that I use for my experimenting. So yeah, we're going to get started. Okay, so I've stripped off as much as I can. So that's the inside and that's the outside. And so once you boil it, I think what you do is you scrape this away. Yeah, I think they boil it first, scrape this away, and then you're left with the fibres. But as I said, I've just cut this in half, and this is all fibrous, but I'm not sure whether this piece is used as well. I'm just going to try it and see whether it separates once it's been boiled. So I've cut them up into smaller pieces. Where is it? So I've cut them up into smaller pieces just to see how I get on. Okay, so here is the banana. It's not the leaves, it's the stem that I stripped and I boiled. And what you have to do is remove this bit so that you've just got the outer layer, and it's very time consuming, and as best as you can, keeping it as whole as possible, that's ideal. So then once it's been, I've just taken strips out of the water and I've just scraped them, and so you can see you get this kind of, it's glossy on one side and all the insides come out, and I'm going to let this dry, and once it's dry, I mean, I've done some bits that have just come off, you get the fibres. So the longer that you can keep the strips that you're going to scrape is the longer the fibres you're going to get, and then you join the fibres together. Now right at the centre you don't have the strips of kind of like folds of the inner core, and you just have an inner core, I think, like I've showed you before, and I've just cut these bits up. And so what I've done with these bits is that because you can't get strips off like this naturally, I've sliced them. So I've taken a very sharp knife and I've created some slices. And because these are fibrous as well, when it dries it will almost be like paper-like, so you can write on them, you can dye them, you can stitch them. I'm hoping to be able to stitch pieces together to create a wall hanging. So I'm quite excited with that, and using some beading and things like that. So the one side will be more smoother than the other. So that's it, that's the inside of the banana stem. And the ones that I don't use, I'm just going to put around. I've got a planting tree growing, and I'm just going to put around and use it as mulch. And so nothing's wasted. And with the water, this is just the banana I kept it overnight, and I'm going to see if I can create a dye from this water. Now, I mean, I might be able to take one of these pieces and soak it in and colour them. If not, I'm going to see if that can maybe slightly colour some fabric, some white fabric. So you've been able to utilise the whole of the banana tree, we'll call it, and then once you've finished with it, all the bits that are left, you can use it as mulch. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully but yeah, as I say, I might not use all of these because I'm still learning and still experimenting. So whatever I can do with what I've got some more banana trees growing, So once I've worked out whether this method will work, and it will work, because that's how you basically extract the fibres, but it's whether the pieces that you create from them, or whatever you create, because when I saw it on the video, there was like at least 10 people involved in this process, and it's just me at the moment. And once they're dried, you'd have people kind of separating out the fibres, and then you'll have another set of people putting the fibres together, and then you'll have another set of people spinning. So it's quite a process, but it's worthwhile when you think about what you've created your finished piece from: natural fibres that you've grown in your garden. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, so take care for now.